I deserve to be standing here as the women's champion.
Cover! Charlotte Flair is a 7-time champion. Here is your winner.
I had fought my way for months and earned my way into a singles match.
I've been telling everybody that I'm the strongest and I'm the fastest, but tonight I showed everybody.
I pictured myself raising that title above my head, saying that I am my own woman, that I am a top star, that I put SmackDown Live Women's Division on the map, and that I am the new champion. Don't make friends with anybody. Yeah, they'll hold you back and they'll blindside you as soon as they get the chance. You gotta do what I'm doing, you gotta strike them before they strike you.
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell, this is DS.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
And we are here for the SummerSlam 2021 review. What a terrible show.
Oh my, I know, I started to clap and I'm like, never mind. Oh wait,
It does not deserve it.
No.
Wow, I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there is. A lot happened.
That's for sure.
A lot of bad happened too, so let's jump right in, I guess.
Let's jump right in, starting from Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. I was actually really scared about this match.
I was scared because of the Lily doll?
No. Did not give a about that. No, Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss. I'm just like, how will this go? And it kind of went
exactly how I expected.
I was actually surprised that it was worse than worse than what I expected.
Okay, I didn't think you were gonna say that.
I thought it was gonna be like a cinematic.
Oh, okay.
Some like magic, special effects, comedy.
Some fishnet string, you know, that invisible string that can make like a little float or something.
I didn't expect them to wrestle. It was a straight up wrestling match.
Unfortunately. Why hasn't there been a women's cinematic match? Like, if anybody was gonna do it, it should have been this possessed Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Like, this would have been perfect for it. But I feel like that ship has sailed, and unfortunately, I feel like the cinematic era is over because I feel they did that because of the whole COVID and the panoramic or whatever you want to call it. I feel like now it's kind of too late, and it would have been the perfect chance to do it because it would have been kind of cool, creative. You could do way more stuff than Lily. Then a digital wink. So stupid. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. They couldn't have came up with any other special effect.
You know what was really scary though? When Alexa Bliss first came out, they had the ginormous VR graphic of her of Lily, and it looked like that gingerbread man from Shrek.
Yeah, when it was all giant.
Again, I did not expect this to be like a straight up wrestling match because Eva Marie, she is a Hollywood actress. She can act, allegedly. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity for a cinematic match.
And then they didn't.
Because Alexa Bliss is a 5 times women's champion. She's a 5-time women's champion, so we expected her to carry Eva Marie.
We did?
No, I didn't. But if you're a 5-time women's champion, you probably should be able to.
I think Alexa Bliss is good if her opponent is good. I don't think she's at the time in her career yet where she can carry a match, because it is hard. It is really hard to carry a match. I don't think she is at that level yet. Maybe she can get to it, but I also think that being with this character is kind of like putting her in a box where she can't necessarily improve with wrestling-wise because she's so involved with character-wise. Well, she's doing the best she can with what she has, but I did notice that she's back to her old gear. She had a cool reveal, but it is kind of her old gear.
I do love that reveal.
I'm here for a reveal. I feel like why don't more people, not just women wrestlers, more people in wrestling should have more reveals. I should have a reveal. Okay,
you should. Yeah. Like Candice Michelle.
Yes.
But thinking about how Alexa kind of failed to carry Eva Marie, it made me think, would Sasha Banks be able to carry Eva Marie? I feel like Sasha has proved everything. Except
the ultimate boss.
Her ultimate dream match is Eva Marie. Can she carry her?
Right? That would really just solidify, she could really have a good match with literally anybody. Right. And I feel like with Eva Marie, I mean, no matter how hard somebody tries, no matter how many one-on-one training they have, you get to train with the best. Some people are just not gonna get it, and that's okay. Not everybody's gonna be like a Sasha or like a Charlotte. I don't necessarily think that her role should be as a wrestler. I would love it if Eva Marie came back and never even took a bump or like did a move, like how you said, like in a cinematic way, or like made even Doudrop do everything for her. I'm sure there could be creative ways around it. It'd be actually funnier that way, and kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing of like, oh look, like she's not even gonna wrestle but still be like a super over heel or something.
Remember when she was slapping Lily?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Even that was awkward. I mean, I have to say though, one of my favorite match, and this is kind of like weird, but one of my favorite match, I know Sasha Bailey, that's my favorite match, Trish Lita, all that, but one of my favorite match is Trish and Stacy for a gravy bowl match, because it was such a fun, there was no like great wrestling moves, but it was a fun match.
Entertaining.
Eva can potentially do that, even though she can't do like freaking moonsault.
Or like a lockup.
Or a slap. I'm sorry. This is so bad. One great thing that happened was Doudrop finally said no.
Yeah. But I thought they had already broken up that one time. But they were still together. I don't know. I'm interested to see where it goes. Do we want to see Eva versus Doudrop feud where they actually wrestle in the ring?
I feel like Eva definitely had a potential, but her first real feud being Alexa Bliss in her Fiend character just kind of, there's nowhere to really go.
No, there's really not. And also, like, I wonder how they're gonna turn Alexa Bliss back to the goddess or whatever she was. Because they like kind of booked themselves into a corner. Like, where else do you go from here?
To defend Eva, she really didn't have much to work with.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I feel like I'm gonna say that a lot today. We'll see what happens.
Shall we move to the second match? Oh, hell no. Let's first talk about how WWE presented this whole SmackDown match.
Yes.
Because they were promoting this match until the very end.
They had the video package playing right before.
But they knew all along that she was not going to be there. She missed live events and SmackDown before, so they knew that she was not going to be there, but they fooled us. I feel like there will be so many people that went to SummerSlam for this match.
Yes. Most definitely. There's definitely people who paid money out of their pocket to go see Sasha Banks specifically. And that speaks so highly of Sasha, as you should. But I would be pretty pissed if I was that person. Like, I was only there to see Sasha and she's not there. Especially because they advertise. And I know cards subject to change and whatever, but come on.
And then we saw Carmella, who Bianca literally beat like 5 times.
Carmella did look great. Loved her hair.
I can only express this like whole segment as like a roller coaster. I feel like I was waterboarded, and then they like they made me so happy, and then they like back to waterboard. Like, it was very weird emotionally. But yeah, so Carmella came out and we're like, what the heck is going on? Like, is this actually happening? We literally saw Bianca beat Carmella the day before, and then out of nowhere we saw Becky Lynch's music hit, which I popped.
Yeah, totally. Me too. I was super excited for it, even though I didn't watch it live, but it was still super awesome to see it. It was so funny because I was literally at a wrestling show and somebody had it on their phone, and something women's related happened, they would come and run and tell me. So right before I wrestled, Bianca's match was about to start, and I'm like, if she wins or something happens, just yell at me. Like, just yell into the ring so I know what's going on.
You were wrestling it?
I was about to wrestle.
Oh, you're about to.
Yeah, right when Bianca was about to wrestle too. So it was telling Atomico Jr., who was there watching on his phone, I'm like, if anything happens, just yell at me. I want to hear it while I'm in the ring. Well, turns out I didn't have to, because during my entrance, all this happened. So I went into the ring all pissed off because this happened. Definitely took it out on my opponents. That's what they get.
So Becky took Bianca's thunder, but also your thunder.
Yes, my thunder too.
Her return is highly anticipated.
Yes.
Her last moment of her leaving the company to be a mother, what a pure moment.
Yes,
that was
sure.
one of the purest moments I've seen in wrestling. And for her to return at Las Vegas with this crowd, I mean, it was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah, especially because it's SummerSlam, and it's one of the big 4 pay-per-views, and they're trying to make SummerSlam be a bigger deal now. So Becky was missed.
Yeah.
She was definitely missed. I thought her return was actually going to be sooner. It was definitely been anticipated for a while. So when I heard her music hit and saw it, I was like, oh yeah, she's back. But then that was it. That's where my happiness ended.
I mean, it was kind of badass that she took out Carmella.
Yeah, that was cool.
Were you excited when the match started, at least?
I was kind of happy, but also I was like, they're going to put the belt on Becky. They're going to put the belt on Becky because they want to, like, shake things up and cause a stir. And also, when the match started, I was like, wait, no. I want this to be, like, a long program and a big storyline with awesome promos. Why are you guys wrestling right now? Yes, I wanted to see that match, but not in this way, not right now, not with no build-up. But I knew as soon as it happened, I'm like, they're gonna put the title on Becky.
When this happened, I also was thinking kind of like AJ Page situation. I kind of could sense that she would lose right away. I guess technically it was like she did cheat or she was dirty. I mean, it was kind of clean. It was a clean loss.
It was 28 seconds.
I thought it'd be more like a roll-up or something.
By the way, the logistics of this setup of the match, it's so funny because on Raw and SmackDown you have like Adam Pearce and like the GM type person be like, no, you can't have that match, I have to sanction it. And then yet here in this pay-per-view you have Becky Lynch just come out and be like, hey, I'm in this match now, and like just take out Carmella and like, hey, it's a match now. Maybe I'm being too picky and being consistent in how you could get a match in WWE.
I feel like if it was on a heel champion, I think this would have been amazing. If it was on Charlotte Flair, I feel like it would have been great.
Yes, okay, I can see.
But this was on Bianca Belair. We saw her debut, win that Royal Rumble, have that amazing historic match at WrestleMania, and she is reigning as a strong women's champion. And for Becky Lynch to come in and just take it away just like that?
This whole build-up for Bianca Belair was amazing. I mean, they pushed her so hard, and she proved that she belongs there, not just like, oh, let's push her because we want to. No, she stepped up. She stepped up every chance, every moment that she had to. She was there, delivered, proved that she belonged to hang with the best. And they did this so hard for the better part. For more than a year, they built her up so much. For what? What's the point? Like, this is the biggest what's the point ever. Oh my gosh. Like, for it to be wiped off like that.
Right.
It's just such a weird, odd booking decision.
Right.
I'm gonna remove myself as a just a fan, or like just like who's a big supporter of Bianca Belair. Like, just from like a booking promoter standpoint, that's a weird decision.
Right. What's even weirder is, again, Becky Lynch's return is one of the most anticipated returns. People were so excited. People love Becky. But how could you this up by making her basically steal Bianca's hard work?
Yeah.
The internet was right away. They turned against Becky.
Yeah.
How the do you that up?
Everyone's saying like, oh, she's a heel now. She's a heel now. But even if she is a heel, I think people are going to look at her a little bit different. Besides like, oh, boo, you're a heel. They're going to look at her like, you really just like stole the shine from Bianca Belair, who busted her ass to get here and has proved herself time and time again. I just don't understand at all. There's so many other options. You could still bring Becky back, have a stare down. Give me Bianca Belair versus Carmella if it means that not happening where, you know, Becky beats her like that. Another great idea would have been to have them have the match. Bianca win, Becky comes out and just beats the hell out of Bianca, because that definitely establishes Becky as a heel. And that definitely makes Bianca as such a sympathetic baby face, you know, because and then have her Becky standing tall with the title, which then will lead into this awesome great storyline. But I just felt like robbed, and it felt like wrong, and it felt like
so dirty.
Yeah, it really did, and not even like in a good way. It was just like so confusing.
It just gave such a sour taste in my mouth
for the rest of the show.
And for someone that was so excited about Becky's return, that just was big betrayal. I almost feel like this is not obviously on Becky, her as a person, but as a character, I feel like she seems like a hypocrite after this, because 3 years ago at SummerSlam, she turned into the man by going against Charlotte, because she just waltzed in, she was away for an injury, she waltzed in, takes all the opportunity and win the title. And that's why she went off, became the man, and got so much fan support. But now, 3 years later, she's doing that exact same thing. Even if they wanted her to be a heel, they could have done it anyway else besides that. I don't think this would have happened if Sasha Banks was in the match. I don't know if Becky would have returned, if it would have gone as planned. Maybe she would have, who knows? But I really, really wonder what it would have been if Sasha was there. There's a lot of comparison between Kofi Brock situation. What do you think about that?
I definitely can see that for sure. And you cannot hide the fact that they're both black.
Yeah.
And it actually made me really think about this. Like, does WWE really believe in Bianca Belair, or are they just using her to get those moments? Are they just using her to get those moments, those good PR moments, those great news stories that are going to be headlined? The first 2 black women to main event. The first, I think she was the first black woman to win a Royal Rumble too. Right. All these firsts, and grabbing all these headlines and getting such good PR. But I'm like, so is WWE just using her to get that good PR, to get that, clickbait news story, because quite honestly, that's how it feels. Even if it's not what they're trying to do, what they're trying to convey, that's really what it felt like. Like, it felt like they don't believe in her, or they don't stand behind her, but she proved that she can go.
I didn't get the Kofi Brock right away, because obviously I don't watch men's wrestling. I don't. But from my understanding, Kofi was basically, he never got a rematch, and he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, and never, at all, just almost that didn't happen.
From that championship storyline, at all. I don't think that's going to happen to Bianca, but it does show, because WWE do go miles to protect some of the talents. They go miles to protect so many of their valued superstars. So for them to make Bianca clean in seconds, definitely do show how they value her.
Totally. I totally agree with that. And I just feel WWE's really focused on moments. Yeah. And they don't go beyond that. They're focused on creating those WrestleMania moments, or even outside of WrestleMania. They're looking for those moments that will be replayed for all infinity. But they need to start thinking beyond that.
Right.
They were looking for that moment of the Becky Lynch return, but at the cost of Bianca Belair, that you just literally spent months, even closer to a year, building up just to get that moment. Is that a good payoff? Is it worth it? Are you really gonna sacrifice the hard work of Bianca and the hard work of, even quite honestly, creative that pushed her and got her there, that helped her get her there, for Becky's return, or get that moment of Becky's return and have that happen? I'm really intrigued. Out of all things, I really wish I knew what the backing and what the mindset was behind this.
I'm also very curious how the storyline's gonna go, and how people react to Becky on Friday. Is she too big for people to
be touched?
boo?
Yeah.
For people to boo, to be touched?
Yeah.
Or will this actually make people turn on her?
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. I think a lot of people too are saying let it play out, let's see what happens. But I feel like we've been saying that a lot about WWE's storyline a lot lately. And I feel like that's an excuse, we'll see what happens. Wait and see what happens. Yes, but also we shouldn't have to baby them or give them the benefit of the doubt, because I think we've been proven time and time again that even if we wait to see if it happens, it's still shit.
So someone should turn heel, I think. So who do you think, Bianca or Becky? What's more realistic?
That's a good question, because Bianca should turn heel, because she should be pissed. What? I wasn't expecting you. She could even do the whole, I prepared for Sasha, I didn't prepare for you, I got caught off guard. But also, what Becky did was a more heelish thing.
But can she turn heel?
I don't know how to fix this.
Let us know in the comment section. Who do you think will turn heel? Who do you want to see turn heel? Will anyone turn heel?
But I know they said it's confirmed that Becky's the one that's going to be a heel, but I don't know.
Well, let's talk about something that we did see play out, and it didn't play out the best. It is the Raw Women's Championship. I feel so bad. Nikki A.S.H defended her Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and the reaction that Nikki got, tore me apart. I felt like a mom seeing a kid fail. It was right before she did the monkey flip, and she just did her pose.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Unfortunately. Because I feel for a little bit, she was getting a really good, strong reaction. I just don't know if it was the crowd, or if everybody was just still trying to recover from what they saw. But I did notice that too. I was like, oh no. Unfortunately, I don't think I could see Nikki being champion again, at least in this current gimmick, because I feel like they're we'll do a test run, we'll see how it goes. And I think her personally did great. I saw the interview that she did for Ring the Bell. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. And she was so good at media. I feel like that is what WWE should have every person be for media. She was so cute and energy, personable. That just made me like her so much more. But then I feel like that doesn't really translate to what she was doing so far. But also, I don't think she was necessarily given all the tools, or I don't think she was set up for success. I think she was set up for failure.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, really, come on. It's just Rhea and Charlotte back and forth. But I feel like if she had a little bit more depth, or I don't know, more vignettes, more storylines, something, I feel like something was missing to set her up for success.
I'm very conflicted about it because, for most WWE storylines, they don't get enough.
Yeah.
So they don't have much to work with. For Nikki, she got the title win, she got the Money in the Bank, and she got main event slots for weeks. I cannot say that she didn't get time and effort put into her. I just Was it, what's the word? Like, that happened too quickly? What's that expression? Shot fired too early?
When they come too fast.
Hey, we're talking about the child's hero, A.S.H.
Jump the gun?
Jump the gun!
Yes!
We
What we get when
We
we get to ESL people trying to figure out English phrases. I am the worst at sayings and phrases. Yes, jump the gun.
did they jump the gun?
A little bit, because I feel like if they would have had a little bit more like backstory or vignettes or like even fun skits, because if you remember back in the day with like Hurricane Helms and like Rosie, they were like always doing something fun, or like you would see them backstage, or like they would always be like, oh yeah, as opposed to like being all rushed. So I could kind of see it being a little rushed.
I hate to say that, it seems like something did go wrong, that people didn't react to it. Charlotte got massive reaction.
She really did, and she looked great too. Purple is definitely her color.
Thanos.
Oh, really? That's what she was going for?
Yeah.
Oh.
She was Infinity Gauntlet.
I love it.
She's feeling her oats.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Rhea was there.
Hey, I think Rhea also got pretty decent reaction.
Oh, yeah, she did. And I feel like, I think for a while there, I kept on saying she seemed like a little stage or a little like, oh, I'm playing this character. But I feel like this time around in this match, she seemed a little bit more comfortable and like wasn't really like pandering too much. I felt like it was more a little like NXT Rhea than like this recent Raw Rhea.
She's like the very few people that is like naturally face.
Yeah.
And she's so cool as face. I feel like her heel character against Asuka and Charlotte was so forced and weird. Her cool face is just so natural for her, which is so bizarre. I don't think I can say that about many people.
No, you're right. I think she's like, even you look at her, like if she was just like walking down the street, you'd be like, oh man, she looks, I want to be friends with her, but you're also kind of scared of her. So you don't like, you know, want to mess with her, but you'd be like, I bet she's the coolest. And she seems like she is.
She is.
And also in this match, I liked how everybody had their one big spot, the one big move to shine. Like hers was the German and fall away slam. Nikki's was the big crossbody off the top rope. Charlotte's was that beautiful corkscrew thing. Oh my gosh, did you see how she landed on Nikki?
Oh.
Right here, and then Nikki hit her head on the guardrail. It was so bad. I liked how every person had like their big moment to shine and like had their big spot. And it was actually a good match. Triple threat matches can be a little bit hard, can be a little bit cluster. They kept it really fast paced from the beginning. And the only thing that sucks about starting off a match hot and super fast is that you had to keep that pace. So I would have kind of liked it for them to kind of build up to it. But they just started off so fast and it felt like they were rushed. But I liked it. I liked it too. It was a good, solid match. I mean, Charlotte's good. You can't deny that. Charlotte's good. But she's so good that a loss wouldn't affect her. But like her not winning the title would have been like, oh, okay, she's still so damn good. But what now? See, again, I mean, I know what now. We all know what's going to happen now. Becky versus Charlotte for the millionth time at Survivor Series.
I cannot believe how, like, at WrestleMania, we saw two new champions, the start of new era, but we're back to the horsewomen. Horsewomen all over again.
And I get it. It's awesome. Yes, they're all very talented women, but they have now are at the point of their career where they need to help women up, you know? Like, you can't just, like, stay here forever. Like, come on, build more women up, and I don't know.
What is she now, 12-time champion?
12-time.
God damn it, we have 4 more times.
It's gonna be another short reign. I'm calling it now. It'll be another short reign. Then she'll win it back, so it could be her and Becky at Survivor Series. But I feel like it's gonna be short reign. I just hurry up and get there then. If that's what they're gonna do, hurry up and get her with 16 times so we can move on.
I mean, does it even matter now? Ric Flair is not even in WWE anymore.
I know. He's like randomly in AAA and having fun in trains.
Not that. The good thing is the match was fine.
Yeah, it was a good fun match.
I hope this doesn't mean the end of A.S.H.
Me either. I still want to see more of Nikki A.S.H. I think that they could do a little bit more with it.
I kind of want her to either feud with Alexa after this, or take the next step of the character and go a little dark side. Because she's always so good at that.
Yeah, she really is. Which I think was a huge contrast in what she's doing now. But
the other thing this match really hurt from is the fact that we saw a combination of these 3 wrestle for like 10 times pins, and everyone got pinned every week. We saw so many of this. Let Dana Brooke wrestle.
Yeah, why not? Let her win the title.
We needed Dana Brooke the champion.
Yeah, why not?
Shall we move to my favorite match of the weekend?
Yes,
It is NXT TakeOver. We saw the NXT Women's Championship between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzales. You made a really fun point about her promos.
I did. The whole like face-off promo, whatever they do, which was a weird format within itself.
Right.
But Raquel makes really weird choices on when to use her Spanish.
Right.
Like to the point where it makes me feel like she doesn't really speak Spanish. I mean, she does, obviously. When you use another language as a promo, because of course I do, you use it to pack a punch for it to mean something and not just like random words.
Okay.
Like for example, she said superestrella instead of superstar, but I feel like that wasn't necessarily needed. It was just really awkward and weirdly placed.
You just used random.
Yeah, why'd you pick that word? It was just really random and weird, but I do appreciate Dakota saying Raquel, so I appreciate Dakota saying her name when rolling her R's like that.
So they came in, I thought Dakota looked...
She looks so different. I almost didn't recognize her.
She looks so... I love her new hairstyle.
too.
But I think she put like 5 bottles of pink hair dye. My eyes were blinding looking at it. It was so bright. She stole Eva Marie's like hair dye or something. I love this match.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was hard hitting. It was definitely a little like look I can slam versus look I can kick match. Because well, of course, and why wouldn't they? Because that's their like move repertoire and that's what they have. But at first I thought it was gonna just be like, let me slam you, let me kick you, let me slam you, let me kick you. But they did a really good job of like telling a story and playing up to it. That awesome chingona bomb that Raquel does is so cool, and how she did it off the ropes. It was really fun. It was fast paced. I enjoyed it. It was probably my favorite match of the weekend too.
For sure. I always liked Dakota, but I think this is the first time that I became like a fan.
Yeah, I see.
Like I could see something about her. Like her moves seem piercing.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh.
Crap kick.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called.
Her scorpion kick.
Oh yeah.
Her scorpion kicks are so cool.
Yeah.
But also Raquel. We've seen some strong people.
Yeah.
Bianca's so strong. I feel like when Bianca shows up for strength, we were like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
When Raquel shows her strength, I'm like, whoa. Like every time, like, are they okay?
I think with Raquel more, it's more just like brutal strength. It's just like rawr. And with like Bianca, it's more like controlled strength. I also liked how the commentators were like so into it. Like that was so random. Like to point out for a match that was so good, but I feel like the commentators were so into it, especially Beth. Like she was so into it. I'm telling you, it's so random out of this good match. I'm like, oh hey, the commentators did a good job. But sometimes the commentators can totally take away from it. What do you think about Kaylee Ray?
Oh, so Kaylee Ray came out after this match. I mean, I know she's good.
I really like her. Her style is kind of cool and different, and she is like kind of like a quirky badass. But also the only thing with that is I feel like I almost wanted to see somebody bigger or almost as strong as Raquel face her next, because I feel like, oh well, she just beat Dakota, so now you have somebody who is similar to Dakota's size to wrestle against her too. We just saw her ragdoll Dakota, and now we have like the British version of Dakota. I mean, I'm not comparing the two, but I'm saying like straight, like how they look in the ring and stuff like that. It's a little similar, so it'd be kind of cool to see. Like,
I definitely see your point. I know that she is the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion. I mean, partially thanks to COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's absolutely amazing talent. Her War Games performance was great. I love her NXT UK matches. She doesn't have a character.
Yeah, I don't really know what her gimmick is besides herself, and I mean, she's pretty cool. I've met her before.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just like, doesn't really translate bigger than life character, at least so far from what I've seen her work with WWE so far.
I want to get to know her.
Her and Mia Yim used to be a tag team in Shiver, and they were so fun. They were called Flying High.
What kind of flying high?
You know. That'd be kind of cool if they get to reunite again, because they were like super fun together. I mean, I doubt it, because who knows where Mia Yimes, hello, where is she? We need a missing poster for her.
We need a lot of posters. A lot of posters.
A lot of people have been missing.
Liv Morgan, Dana Brooke, Naomi, the list goes Tony Storm, it goes on.
So, I really like the match.
I almost want to see this continue a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rumor right now is that Dakota might be called out to main roster, so she might be going to Raw or SmackDown.
Ooh, that would be fun. I don't even know where I would rather see her on, is Raw or SmackDown. Whatever. Wherever she lands, she'll be great and she'll definitely contribute so much.
She was on main event, losing to Aaliyah.
So I think the higher ups have to be pissed off at NXT because, they're like whole revamping NXT or whatever. But how are you going to have Dakota Kai lose to Aaliyah in main event and then have her face Raquel NXT championship?
Hey, do not slander Aaliyah, the 10-year NXT veteran. She's been there since the very first day when they built Performance
She opened
Center.
it.
Also, Scarlett was missing.
I know. Scarlett was like the most exciting thing about him. And another missing poster for Scarlett.
Other than Scarlett, really, Karrion Kross is
lame.
So we miss Scarlett.
Come back, Scarlett.
Come back. So that is the SummerSlam weekend review. We had a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. And also I thought it was kind of cool how a lot of people online were like, I cannot wait to hear what you guys say. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. So shout out to the people who care about our opinions.
Thank you. This SummerSlam made me kind of really, really sad.
It really was like,
But also, I am very excited though. This weekend, I am going to Empower! NWA Empower!
So fun!
All women's pay-per-view by NWA and Mickie James. So I want to be there in St. Louis. If you're coming, please say hi. I'll be interviewing people at the red carpet. So excited to see so many people.
And make sure you support Empower as much as you can, whether it be ordering it, going there live. Because if we support shows like this, it just means there's a market for this and will be more women opportunities, more women pay-per-views. So come on, let's go. Let's support Empower and show us that women wrestling fans matter and we want good stuff for all women out there.
Yeah, because I saw so many people like, I'm done with WWE over this weekend. I'm like, where are we gonna go? AEW? I don't think that's what you're looking for anyway. But Empower could be.
Yeah.
Empower could be where you're looking at.
Check out your local indie shows. You never know who you're gonna see that's gonna make it to the big time one day, losing to Charlotte or something. For real, check out your local indie shows. Look up to see independent shows around your area and support your local women wrestlers there.
And Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And make sure you check out my merch, not only on Pro Wrestling Tees, but our Ring the Bell merch.
Yes! And you can find me at DS Shin and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. And you can find all of us on our Patreon exclusive Discord channel where we spill so much tea.
Oh, I spilled some tea this week.
Oh, girl! Okay, we'll see you all there. Bye!
Did I just break your couch? Oh my god. Are you okay? Well, thank you for showing.
Watch how happy DS was for them to try the candy wrapper. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh my god.